for the introduction, the National Education Policy basically is a plan made by the government to improve the education system of a country. It explains how schools and college should work, what students should learn, and how teachers should teach. The main goal of the policy is to make learning better, easier, and more meaningful for every student. For this topic, we got three, which is overview, teaching and learning issue, and implementation challenges. For overview, first point is education policy is complex. Education policy has many rules and guidelines. It's not as simple because it covers different levels and education and many responsibilities. Second point is it involves many people, system, and situations. Education policy affects students, teachers, school leaders, and the government. Each group has different needs and roles. For the third point is simple solution do not always work, which is a simple solution cannot solve all education problems because schools face different challenges, same as college and university. So for the second point, teaching and learning issues, teaching is not giving information. It means that teaching involves guiding students and helping them understand lessons, not just delivering facts. So other than that, student learns by understanding and interpreting lessons, which is student learns better when they can understand, think, and apply what they taught. Third is policy fail if teachers and students are not considered. It means if policy ignore the needs of teachers and students, they may not work well in real situations. For the last problem is implementation challenges. First point is school interact policies differently, which is different schools understands and apply policies in their own way based on their environment. So second point is teachers adapt policies based on their situations. Teachers often adjust policies to suit their students and classroom conditions. So for the last point is strict rules do not always fit in real school condition. It shows some rules are difficult to follow because real school situation can be unpredictable.
Our main objective of education policy to ensure standardization, fairness, and quality in teaching and learning. Next, to build capacity of teachers and school teachers through training. This ensure fairness in educate distribution of resources. For the next one is to translate policy goal into practical school action. For example, it supports effective teaching through clear guide and communication. Until that is to it also can improve student outcome through continuous monitoring and improvement.
Next is actors involved in education policy. So actors that involved in education policy, the first actors is legislative, executive, and administrators. For first point for legislative, make and approve education laws. Legislative create and pass laws that guide how education should work. Second point, decide rules and regulations. They set official rules that schools and education bodies must follow. Third point is check government's actions. It shows that they ensure the government follows education laws properly. Follow education law properly. So for the next point is, for the next actors is executive. Executive plan education policy. It means they design policies based on national education goals. Other than that, they also put policies into action. It means they carry out and implement the approved education policies. Third is manage education system. They shows that they oversee how schools and education departments operate. So for the last is administrators. First, they apply education policies. It means they implement policies at schools or institutional level, which is university or college. Second is support teachers and students. It means that they provide guidance, resources, and also help when they need it, when students and teachers need it. Last point is monitor and evaluate performance, which is they check school performance to improve teaching and learning.
Um, 5.0 Implementation of Education Policy. First point, transition from policy to practice. Is education policy implementation involving converting written politics into real action in school, classroom, and community. Point number 2, institution readiness. Successful implementation depends on school preparedness, including teacher skill, training, and ability to adapt new teaching approach. Other than point, rules of leadership and school culture. Strong school leadership promote cooperation, innovation, and share vision, ensuring politics are implemented effectively. Point number 4 is monitoring and evaluation. Continuous monitoring, feedback, and evidence-based evaluation help improve implementation and ensure politics meet objective. Last point for implementation of education policy is communication and stakeholder involvement. That is support from parents and communities ensures acceptance, sustainability, and success of education policy. Other point is 6.0 evaluation of the effective of education policy. I think first point is purpose of evaluation. Ensures education, politics, archive, attendance goals, and remain relevant of current education needs. Second point is student academic outcome. Student academic outcome is policy effectiveness is measured taught student performance such as test score, graduation rates, and learning achievement. Point number 3 is teacher capacity and experience. Teacher readiness, training, confidence, and support strongly influence whether police effectively implemented. The last point is role of school leadership. Effective school leadership action policy implementation, thought clear communication, motivation and support and no support and supportive school culture. Okay, that's all.
For recommendation, have first one is highest education teaching training as part of coursework. Provide mandatory teaching and training for PhD students. Other than that, this includes student-centered teaching method and innovative. Second one is teaching up center for. Second one is setting up center for excellence in teaching and highest education. Establish center for excellence in teaching in all highest education institutions. Other than that, is use executive training center to support teaching qualities. For the third one is mentoring for beginner teachers, creating a national mentoring program for new university teachers. Other than that, it provides classroom observation and feedback.
So this is our conclusion. In conclusion, based on examination of national education policy, it can be concluded that despite offering an elaborate and plastic futuristic vision for enhancing the efficiency and relevance of education, the successful implementation of the policy plays an extremely crucial role. Nevertheless, on the basis of assessment of the efficiency of this policy, it can be argued for some meaningful and qualitative changes in the education sector. So, there is a need for cooperation and collaboration of the part of all the stakeholders, such as executive, legislative, administrators, and many more. And so that's all from us, Group 5. Thank you.